That's neither here nor there. We got a very special guest in the house, a friend and an advocate of the M.A.S.S movement, a very well-known and very well-respected comedian, Kraig Smith. What's up, Kraig?
Hey, make sure you guys call in. Make sure you call in and donate. We're raising money to stop these niggas from being so soft. These niggas who can't shit without coming, this fundraiser is to get rid of you, nigga. Some of you niggas put lipstick around your asshole and blow kisses with it. We're raising money for these types of niggas.
And that's what I'm talking about, man. M.A.S.S is against a soft-ass society. Yes.
1 second. If you ain't never done this, shut up, bitch! Be quiet, bitch. Go to bed. I'll be home when I get home. Thank you. If you ain't never done that, you a soft nigga to your bitch.
See, I'm tired of that shit. I eat 4 rhinoceros pills every night. I fight the mailman, nigga, if my Jet magazine ain't in there, nigga.
God!
If I catch you moisturize again, my nigga, if your knuckles don't look like you got on white gloves, you's a bitch.
God!
You don't have to get much harder. Feel fury.
Have you ever been in a party that is trying to clear some content, and while you're trying to reach the top of the DPS meter, your party is literally crumbling around you? And then after a few wipes, your healer, who was the problem, decides to leave? Well, now you have yet another option to cover any hole in your groups with the Heal Chronomancer. With a wide range of boon access, relatively easy playstyle, and versatility between quickness and alacrity, this build has come a long way. I don't believe that it puts all Chrono players on death row like they used to be, but as I cover this build, I'll give you some pros and cons on where I think this build can be used to its fullest. But before we get into it, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed up to this point. This channel just broke 400 subscribers, and I couldn't thank you all enough. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider it. The Heal Chronomancer relies on a Chaos and Inspiration trait line for its boon and healing output respectively, and then Chronomancer trait line for its quickness or alacrity production. Its main boons get generated through shattering clones, use of mantras, use of wells, and your healing mantra spam, so you're just spamming your heal skill. When it comes to the use of Continuum Split, all it really is a skill reset button, except it needs to be used prior to the skills that you're going to use. So generating 3 clones and then using that skill and then blowing all your skills off cooldown is kind of the best way to use it. You want to try and make sure that all the skills that you want to have reset are off cooldown before using Continuum Split. So it does take a little bit of practice to kind of get the timings right. You don't want to just spam and then you're always in a limbo where you don't know if you can use your Continuum Split effectively or not. The gear is relatively flexible. I personally run full Minstrel's gear, Runes of Water, Relic of the Flock, with water and transference sigils on the Scepter shield. And I only really use Staff for opener to generate clones quickly, and then Staff 5 for CC if it's really needed. You can play this build entirely with Scepter Shield though. As stated earlier, you're going to be shattering clones and spamming mantras. Your clone generation comes from the use of your healing skill and your Scepter auto attack chain. As long as you're finishing your auto attack chains in between charging and spamming your healing skill, you should be generating enough clones to effectively use your shatters at the 3 clone shatter whenever they're available. Your shatter skills also generate all of your boons, so you want to prioritize the clone generation and shatter skills more than kind of anything else. You have Aegis and stability for your party members on your F4, and you have a lot of other utility that you can bring. I'm not really talking about the utility skills too much, but I bring Well of Precognition and Well of Action just for the extra boons that it gives. The good parts of this build are that it's easy and it's effective. You are essentially a boon bot that provides whatever's needed for your team. It has a lot of sustained healing. It has a lot of damage mitigation. There's not much burst healing, but you do have a lot of tools for stability and Aegis and protection to kind of mitigate that damage. The boons are provided in relatively decent range. The bad is that this build is really reliant on clone generation, and there are some encounters that can make it hard to generate and maintain those clones. For raids or strikes or even fractal CMs where there is a single boss with minimal phases, this build works really well. For those that you're trying to use it on other fractals where you're plowing through waves of trash and mobs are constantly dying, or you're in the open world where things are getting burned down really quickly, or there's random invulnerability phases or phases where a boss is untargetable, your clones just disappear. So it could take extra special timing to ensure that you're providing your boons effectively. Especially if there's a boss fight and then he spawns a bunch of ads and it's a trash phase or something. The other thing that I don't really like about this build is that you can only really provide these boons in your general vicinity. Like rifle is not out yet. I know that gives some ranged healing options. It's not live, so you only can really heal people around you. And by that, you like, if somebody needs something, you need to like run over to them and start spamming next to them, or they need to be stacked up on you. And so there is kind of some downfall with that, especially if you're dealing with things that you have to split. In conclusion, the Heal Chrono is an effective support class for those who like playing M.A.S.S, and it's definitely a fun class to play. There's a lot of versatility in the kit, and that I didn't touch on in this video. As you become more comfortable with the build and be able to tell which skills are critical and which ones aren't, it'll help you tailor this build to any kind of encounter. I don't think this build is better than Heal Rev or Heal Scourge as a quickness or alacrity healer. However, it will be effective in most encounters, and a skilled Chronomancer will almost always be better than a good Heal Rev or a good Heal Scourge. So in short, if you like the build, play the build. Like always, I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing if you haven't already. I will see you all next time.